Hello, this is Overlord Nigel and
hbkadam.
we are in the Carnival night zone. Got it right this time.
This has to be one of my favourite Sonic 3 levels.
Happens to be my most hated.
Oh, this can be frustrating as hell, but it's so much fun.
Now this level will have you bouncing everywhere.
If you've ever played Sonic 2 and played Casino Night Zone, you know exactly what this level's going to be like.
Yep. But no, you do have to be quite on the ball with this level, because to get to a lot of places you need to use the balloons, which obviously are, once you pop, you ain't going back.
Some do respawn, I should say.
After a time though.
You also got them little sections, you can see I'm trying to go higher on it, so I'll spin dash up, but I don't think it's going to work, no. Let's stop trying again though.
Now, one thing you will find in this level specifically is the fact that you will end up having to redo bits, because it is such a pain for having to get it perfect first time.
Oh no, but this is why this level is great.
Speak for yourself. Yeah. We'll see if we can try and mention everything. Now, obviously, gravitational pads, very similar to the fans from the Hydro City Zone. Keep you afloat. Cannons. Now, these are fun. Jump in. It tilts back and forwards, and when you're ready, press the button and fire.
I was trying to find a special stage. There's quite a few special stages in this level. It's the case of finding them, because they're pretty damn well hidden.
Oh, and don't fall off things, because you will have to go back ages to repeat yourself.
Yeah, and that happens a lot because I'm trying to find special stages. This is why this level can be quite frustrating for people, because when you mess up, you got to do a whole section all over again.
Also, you will notice that this is Act 1. If you look at the title of the video, there is a reason for that. We did try to do it all in one go, and realised it was over 30 minutes long, and well, I can't talk for 30 minutes.
And you should have just noticed, Whitetails is annoying in this level. He will mess up that balloon thing every single time.
Now, got a bit of speed shoes going on here. Now those things there, you may have noticed, are basically speed boosters. So instead of actually hitting a spring, you go through them and get catapulted at ridiculously fast miles an hour.
Similar to the lifts from Casino Night Zone in Sonic 2.
Also, these clam things, while mildly annoying,
they're great springs.
Yeah, they actually have a spring function, which, not at this point, but at other points in the game, can be very helpful for getting to new areas.
I see they do work as normal lifts, as in the lifts from Casino Night Zone from Sonic 2 as well. And here should be a special stage!
The old gold rings. Also something I haven't mentioned yet, but once you have every emerald, if you find another gold ring, that instantaneously gives you 50 rings.
Yeah, I don't really show that off until Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah. This is, by comparison to some of them, this is actually one of the easier special stages here.
Well, if I remember correctly, the hardest thing about this is trying to find the last few blue spheres.
Also, as you can see, Adam is still trying to collect all the rings at this point.
Rings means lives and continues.
It
also means you're most likely to mess this level up.
Yeah. Now, one thing you've got to remember with these special stages is that pride is gonna come before a fall. Or in this case, pride will come before a red sphere.
And this is what I mean by it's generally harder to find the last few blue spheres in this level. There you go, I got a perfect.
Which for those who don't remember from earlier, means that you get enough points to qualify you to have an extra life.
Can't find the last blue sphere though.
Or last 4.
Yes, last 4.
If you can see them, don't shout at the screen. We can't hear you.
And this is pre-recorded, so there's not much point. As much as there's some points in this, I think you will want the shout at the screen.
Mostly Adam.
Like now? Like where the hell do you think you're bloody well going?
Now, as you can see, this is actually getting incredibly hard because the speed is ever increasing.
I don't know if I even do this properly.
I think you do. And the only thing is we do...
Oh, no, I don't. I'm set up.
Ah.
Surprised at that speed, to be honest.
Yeah. So I presume you'll get to see that level a little later on.
Oh yeah, you do, because I've got Supersonic later on.
Oh yeah. There's me feeling a bit silly for mentioning that was one of the easier ones.
Well, it is when you find the other 4.
Now, one thing I will say is, obviously, if you don't manage to get all the emeralds the first time, don't worry. It is incredibly hard and frustrating.
I think it's just a bit more annoying that I've done these so many times and I still manage to mess them up. Oh yeah, if you get the balloon raft to hit the floor, it won't inflate to allow you to go back up anymore. Which is annoying, because it means you've got to try and go away, get it reset, or find another route like I did.
Also, those black wheels will allow Sonic to stick to them, which is always incredibly helpful.
It's not the easiest thing to do in the world though, I have to say. There we go, now to continue. I don't know how many that is now. I think you don't really find out unless you until you're loading up the game. And how many continues you got. It does tell you on the save screen, which is quite handy. It tells you how many lives and how many continues that save has got.
Obviously you don't get to see the save screen and we can't remember.
Now, there is 2 routes down that one. I forgot to jump over to go down the other route. I can't remember if it's any quicker or anything. There's anything special about the other route.
Oh, we do have invincibility here, so that's pretty special.
And lots of things to bounce off.
There's enough springs around here to like kill
Sonic in particular, yeah. I don't quite know what happened there. Actually, it looked like it glitched, but I can't remember now.
Unfortunately, there is 2 or 3 times, especially later on in the Death Egg Zone, where we do get hit by a glitch or 2.
I don't think we mentioned this yet. We're using the GameCube version on this game, actually, which is from the Sonic Mega Collection.
Yeah, we don't have anything to record Mega Drive, sadly, and the PlayStation version doesn't do Sonic and Knuckles.
You mean the Xbox version?
Xbox version, sorry.
Yeah, I was quite disappointed with that, the Mega Drive collection on their Xbox not doing Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But Sega claimed it was either that or losing 3 games out of the collection.
Which you could have just made one game, but yeah.
I think it's Sega being Sega and rushing towards a deadline, as usual. That's the only reason this game's in 2 different games is because Sega ran out of time. And here's another special stage for you all.
Hopefully we'll get this one.
Yeah, you have to be a bit clever about this one and not collect all 4 at once like I did just then, because you will find out later that becomes a little bit more difficult to for running around. See, what you should do is go up 2 each side, because then you know where you've been. see what I'll do now, I've got to count to 4 and I'm going to have to turn myself around. Which isn't very handy.
The thing is, with this is if you only go in a straight line, by the time you've actually run out of blue spheres, you're back to where you started.
Well, that's the theory. It doesn't always work in practice.
It's a good opportunity to try.
No, I think this video is starting to come out of sync again as well, so apologies if we seem to be a bit behind whatever's on the screen. But another perfect for you all, which means that the only things that are left are the 4 blue spheres down each path.
As you can see from the counter, it's actually quite a large number of the spheres.
Well, there's 4 in end of each thing, so that's 8 per row. So there's a fair few. And here we go for the last 8.
So, you know, nice and easy when you know how.
This one is definitely one of the easier ones, especially for one that's actually quite later on. Now I've finally got 3 Chaos Emeralds! Yay!
You have no idea how much trouble we went through to get all these. Actually, you will, because you'll see most of it, but...
Yeah, we're already over halfway through the game. We've only got 3 Chaos Emeralds. It tells you how badly I was playing these levels.
I mean, the reason we're actually going to be having to do a lot of heavy work on the ice cap zone, is it?
Yeah, ice cap zone.
Get it right.
Yeah.
Is because we were searching so desperately hard for special stages, we had to time out twice. So we apologise, but that will be heavily edited.
I think part 2 of this gets heavily edited as well for timing out.
Yeah, we do actually time out. I know once so far. Obviously, I haven't finished editing it.
Well, that's the thing with this level. Being as it is one of the longest 2D Sonic levels that exist, timing out on this is actually fairly common, even for proper experienced people. It's very common to time out. Don't ask me why I couldn't get out just then.
I think he was just playing around, to be honest.
I think it was something to do with Tails going through the system at the same time. It made it so I wouldn't fly out the top properly.
Yeah, the other reason that timing out on this is incredibly easy is because you get stuck between a bunch of bumpers, and that's it.
And here is the Act 1 boss.
Yep. This one's a funny one because you've got to do it as fast as you can, but obviously you can't do it that fast because the idea is that spinning plate is attacking you and the blocks underneath. You then have to hit the actual boss to cause him to drop his electrode. When the electrode is hit by the device, I don't think we actually do this first time.
No, I believe we died first time around, actually.
But when the electrode's hit, obviously the boss takes damage. But as you can see...
There we go. According to the screen, I had 8 lives there.
Yeah.
And randomly died, so I shouldn't have done that, really. Oh well.
You were crushed. But yeah, as you can see, the stage is slowly getting chewed up. So if you aren't quick enough, or if you aren't lucky, you will quite easily end up dying on this.
Now this is the way to do this boss, is to basically sit in one corner and keep on hitting this thing. Much easier if you've got electricity shield.
But you will notice one small problem here is the thing's got stuck, so now it's destroying a huge chunk of the area without actually going anywhere near the boss.
And I don't believe you mentioned the name of this boss yet. It's called Bowling Spin. Please don't blame us, this is exactly what it says on the Sonic Wiki. There we go, that's how you should do this boss, not the way I did the first time around and died.
Yep, now just wait for a slow descent.
Yeah, do not jump off the blocks. So if you do it straight away, you will die.
Yeah, because the game engine does not register that the level's finished.
And that is the end of Act 1.
Yep, so off we go to Act 2. Well, you started the video there. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, likes and subscriptions, always appreciating, do go a long way to helping us get better known.
Yes, thank you very much for watching this video, and goodbye.
Yep, goodbye.